Welcome to the Jobs and Work podcast. If you're like most Americans, you spend a significant amount of your time working. In fact, we spend more time at our jobs than anywhere else. But how often do we really talk about work in America? On this podcast, the Work for Change team will. Work for Change, LLC is a team of social scientists, thought leaders, and digital storytellers who dig into the critical issues affecting American workers and workplaces today. Our podcast is co-hosted by Dr. Kendra Jason and myself, Dr. Chris Maycumber. We'll also bring guests onto the show who reflect the diversity of the American workforce. We are so excited for you to join us as we lead the efforts to humanize the workplace by building dignity and equity into jobs, work, and organizations. Please subscribe to the podcast and share us with your friends and family. You can learn more about Work for Change at workforchangellc.com.
Hello, and welcome to episode 32 of the Jobs and Work with Work for Change podcast. Today, I am so excited to have special guests and multiple small business owners, Lakeeta Ladson, with us today. Welcome to the show, Lakeeta.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
All right, so I'm just going to give a quick bio on Lakeeta because I so have been wanting to jump into this conversation for months. So Lakeeta was raised in Georgetown, South Carolina by two math majors as parents. Her father also being the first Black foreman hired at an international paper mill. I know how important that is. You did go to college, didn't really know what you wanted to do. You ended up at South Carolina State University. First, you started out as a music major, which makes perfect sense, but then you switched over to speech, language, and pathology and audiology, and you've been a therapist for 20 years. And for the last 7 years, you have owned and managed a speech and therapy practice called Complete Speech Therapy and Wellness. So what Lakeeta is known for, especially on social media, and we'll talk about that in a moment, is her passion for helping people to be their best self. If it's providing therapy through speech services, if it's wellness, nutrition, anything that will help you become a better member of your community. So Lakeeta is also a soulful music singer. She does solo and she does band performances. And what I'm really, really excited about is one of her latest ventures as a model with the Raya brand. And as a result of being a model for only less than a year, she's already been featured in the fitness magazine Fit Features, and she has some big things coming up real soon. And so I can't forget to mention she has a lovely, lovely, lovely smart daughter of 7 years old who has just a funny personality. Again, Lakeeta's handles, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump. Lakeeta's handles, social media handles at the bottom of the page. So please check out her business website, her social media website. So not only you can follow her as a professional, but she also has some great nuggets for you, to instill in you as a person. So I told Lakeeta I wanted to start with, Complete Wellness, like your speech therapy company. So now that I know, I didn't know this before, like you went to college for this, you have your certifications. And so what is it that inspires you not to just work for someone else in a clinic, but to have your own business in speech therapy?
Well, I knew I wanted to be a business owner. I just didn't know what but my dad actually told me, he had a stroke about 7 years ago, but before the stroke, he was like, Keeta, you need to start your own practice. And I'm like, I don't want to do this for a business. And he said, why not? You've already been doing it for a while. You know what you're doing.
Yep.
Go ahead and do it. So I started back in 2011 or 12, but I wasn't focused. So when I got pregnant with Mariah, that's what really pushed me. And I was pregnant January 2014. She wasn't born until April. And I just decided to start getting my provider numbers for the different insurance companies. I was still working a job, and there were times I was working day and night getting that business started. Yep. And I didn't hire anyone until like a year later. And now we have an office in North Carolina, South Carolina. I have a biller. I don't have to do all that admin stuff anymore. And we have a few of our therapists help market. So I did not imagine that it would. I had a vision board and I had, okay, God, I want one SLP and two SLPAs. I didn't know I'd have 5 or 6 in each state. So
Wow.
vision boards are important.
Goosebumps.
Vision boards are important.
Like, seriously, I talk to so many women who, they do say that their children are their inspiration. Kennedy is my inspiration as well. But I also hear a lot of women who say because they have children, they put off starting their business, or they put off, a dream or a risk. And what it sounds like for you is that it kind of like pushed you into, doing something that was more risky, that was more uncertain, and that was like, like you said, you have experience, but it's different to take that leap, to take ownership of it as well. That's awesome.
Yes, I wanted more. I wanted to be able to do what I'm doing now, not have to work as much, travel, let her see different things. And as a business owner, you can do that.
All right. So another thing that I want to talk about too is, okay, so I follow Lakeeta on social media. I comment on her stuff every day. She probably think I'm like a stalker. But I'm just so fascinated, honestly, with your life and your consistency. That is what really, really, really attracted me to you. So like, Lakeeta and I met each other in a gym a couple of years ago. And what I noticed about Lakeeta right away is that she was very focused, like, hey, bye, I'm here to work. I'm here to do my thing. Look, she's laughing because I'm telling the truth.
Everybody says that.
I'm here to do my work. It's cool if we can talk, but we ain't got to talk because I'm here to work. And and then, I saw you develop, not first it was your own, you were showing us how you were doing personal training with a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. And then you started personal training yourself. And so can you tell me about that journey a little bit, and what you have gained from that experience?
Well, I love fitness. Ever since I was a little girl, I played softball, I did track, and I also had a weight problem. I was obese, but I'm one of those big girls that like to work out. So I just didn't let my weight stop me. And right before the pandemic began, I got my certification from ISSA, and I was surprised that people would want me to train them because I'm still kind of like plus size, but plus size women come at me all the time in my inbox. And right now I just can't train because I don't have the time, but they still come like, hey, can you put me on your waiting list? I'm just surprised because I don't look like, the famous trainers with the nice bodies or whatever. I just love to work out and I love to help people to be their best self. So I love it. If I can train for free, I would, because that's how much I love doing it.
Yeah, and what it is too, and I know you probably know this, but you are very relatable, right? And so, like I said, I have like, in a funny way, it's like I have an attraction to what you do because it is so relatable. It's just like, you're just a genuine person. You're like, I'm working out today. This is what I'm doing. Here's some music. I'm gonna just show you if it's 3-minute clip or a 30-minute clip. Again, it's the consistency. And so I don't even think I think it is a part in, with you being like a plus size trainer that may make someone who's plus size feel more comfortable in some type of way. But, I wouldn't be surprised if you had women from the whole spectrum of sizes, because like I said, like what you want is someone who's motivating, who know what they're talking about, and who's sensitive and coach and in their coaching. And so I think you have that whole package. And so like right now you got to put that on pause because you got so many things going on. But at one period, before the modeling picked up, that was like something that you were really focused on a lot. And you were also sharing the progress stories of your clients as well. And that's a huge deal too, because like, social media is a very scary place. It's a place where, when you're proud of something, somebody can come in and be like, nah, sis,
Right.
So for people who are dealing with insecurities or dealing with weight or dealing with nutrition and all those things, for them to trust you to put their story on there, I think that speaks a lot to the work that you do with them as well.
Well, I'm so happy. One of the girls that used to follow me, she is now a personal trainer. And I am so happy about that because it's like, hey, she said I was an inspiration for her to do that. I've never trained her. She just follows me on Facebook. She's from my hometown. And from my hometown, we don't have a lot of trainers that look like me.
Right.
So that just made me feel good that she was inspired to go after her certification as well.
And that's why I think, you know, social media is so important. So, of course, you know, I have a Start Your Own Business workshop. Let me put a little plug in right now. I'm doing another and final Start Your Own Business workshop in November. On November, I'll be doing some postings for that. But, you know, one of the things that's really that I notice about, I tell the people who participate, you got to use social media, even if you don't like it, if you're uncomfortable. Just post every day because you don't know who you are inspiring. It may not even be, to your point, like it may not be someone who comes to your business or buys from you, or who directly uses your service, but your presence, your consistency, your bravery could and is inspiring people that you have no idea.
It's unbelievable.
And tell me if you come across this, because this happens to me. You know, I post some things or whatever on social media, don't think about it. So, you know, then I run into somebody, you know, in the street or whatever, out in public. They've never said anything on my post. They've never commented, and they'd be like, girl. And they give me my whole story over the last 6 months of what I've been doing and how proud they are. And I was just like, I didn't even know you was like, you know, I didn't even know you was paying attention. Does that ever happen to you?
Yes. I had people say, aren't you that girl on Facebook? And I'm like, a guy in the gym told me that a few weeks ago. He said, I know you. And I'm like, you don't even know me. Stop it. The next time I came to the gym, he said, I know where I know you from. You're on Facebook. He's not even a friend of mine. I don't even know how he's just a follower. I'm like, dang.
Yep.
But he likes to work out, and he said he likes to see me work out. I don't know why, but
yeah. No, I actually like to see people work out too. I mean, it's almost like a cooking show. You just mesmerized by what people are doing. And that's why fitness, what they call it, fitspiration. That's why like those fitness videos are so popular. Because people just like kind of to watch people do. And sometimes it's like, I just made a post last week where I'm taking swimming. Oh yeah, you know, you commented on it. I'm taking swimming lessons now. I started taking swimming lessons in June, and I'm still taking them. I'll be taking them for a while. I'm gonna let y'all know. But you know, I just watched a couple of Facebook friends of mine who posted they would swim like nearly every day or a few times a week, and they would just post, you know, and I just kind of watched them for months. And I was just like, that's something I really want to do. And I'm just watching. And then I was like, you know what? They can do it. I can do it. Sometimes we just need to see somebody do it before we do it ourselves, you know?
You inspired me because I've been saying for the last 5 years, every New Year's, I'm going to learn how to swim this year.
Yeah.
So now it's 2021. I'm hoping to learn something before January 2022.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about your modeling. But before I ask you about your modeling, I'm going to tell you, because I think it's a good segue. I'm going to tell you, like, I've known that I wanted you on the show, you know, on the podcast for like ever. But what made me hit the send that email button is that, again, so Lakeeta does regular posts. Sometimes she's just on the beach, you know, talking to you. She's doing her morning walk. But one day I said, you were sitting on the porch. And you showed this video about, I mean, you had a lot of things in it, but what struck out to me was you talked about how you shared your dreams with people early on of like starting your business or being a model, and people, your friends, you know, friends or family who you trusted with this kind of like vulnerable information. I want to take this risk. I'm thinking about doing this. They kind of shut you down or laughed it off or convinced you out of it. And you know, a part of your story is that, you know, at first you listened to it and it made you sit back, but then you stepped into your dreams. So, you know, that, and then you start talking about, you know, the modeling and things. And so I just wanted you, you know, just to take a moment. Can you just talk a little bit about that? And then like, you know, how that led you also into finally pursuing your modeling dream?
Well, when I was a teenager, I would say about 13, 14, I always admired models, and for some reason on the inside, I wanted to do it. And I did not look like a model at that time, but I wanted to do it. And I shared it with a girlfriend of mine. She wanted to be a model too, but she looked more like a model than me. And she was like, she didn't say it in a mean way. She just said, it'll never work. You're too short. And in the modeling game. And back then that was true. You're too short, you're overweight, and it's just, they're not going to choose you. So I let it go for a while.
Yeah.
And then last year, I had gone through I'm presently ascending, right? I went through some relationships, I've grown from them, and I'm at a point where I'm totally detached, and I decided to delve into my dreams. The editor of Oprah's magazine is what really kind of inspired me. Years ago, I read it where she said she wrote down the things that she could do, and she wrote down the things that seemed impossible to do, which is be an editor for Oprah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that happened. She believed in the impossible. So last year, January, I was seeking out photographers to start building a portfolio. I said, I'm going to do this. If she could do it, I'm going to believe in the impossible for me. So that's when I met Vivian from the Raya brand. And she said, well, me and my mom have started an agency. They've had 2 successful models. And I said, well, hey, why not give it a shot? And I've been going to Atlanta where they're located once a month, or we'll meet somewhere. And, being in the modeling game for like the last 7 months, I've met professional models who are plus size, models who are 300 plus, making money. Okay?
Making money.
And it's not the money for me. That would be good too. But I really just love doing it. And I'm so surprised. I have so many young girls inboxing me. How can I be a model? You're doing good. I'm like, dang, I'm just getting started. I'm not even really seasoned yet. But that was it for me. I decided to believe in the impossible. I started writing down, I am a plus size model. I am a successful plus size model. I say it in the morning when I'm looking in the mirror. Now, one thing I need to do is learn how to do makeup. Because, as a model, you should know how to do your own makeup, but I've been having to find other people. I've never worn makeup until like now in my life, 44. So it's been a fun experience, because I was kind of a tomboy, but now I'm doing a lot of feminine girly stuff as a model, and it's really built my confidence. So what made me do it is just believing in the impossible for myself. What people told me, even my mom, I mean, she loves me, but she said, Keita, you sure you want to do this? I don't want your feelings to be hurt. But now she's looking at my pictures like, that's you? So I'm like, yeah, that's your daughter.
So it's so funny that you say, and it's true. Like you say, you're not a seasoned model, but I'm telling you, y'all see these pictures. Like, number one, your face game is so, like, anytime you have a face picture, like it's always striking, and then the full bodies just be like drama.
Well, I owe that to my coach Stacy with the Raya brand. She's been working with me.
You have a very good team behind you. You really, really have. I'm really happy that you found a good supportive team that seems like they want the best for you as a person, as well as a model. Because I don't really think that those pictures would translate in the way that they do if you didn't have a good team behind.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, your face game is so tight, but your full body stuff, I'd be like drama every time.
Well, that's ours. Modeling is not easy. People think I thought it was easy. It's actually, it hurts a little bit. It's like yoga because you got to stay in that position.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
But it's fun.
The leg be, the arm be, the
girl, yes.
And then look, you be in the water, in the mountains, in the woods.
I was the last one. I was kind of scared. They had me on a ladder, and I had to stand there and pose. That I don't like heights, so they're challenging me with that.
Yeah, that is. And so, what I would like to know now is, what's coming, what's next for you? What's coming up? It seems like this is always a funny thing, and people say the same thing about me. It seems like you have a full plate, but we always seem to make room for more or to add on to what we're doing. And so, what can you share with us? What's next for you, and what are you thinking about?
Well, we're continuing to reach out to various magazines, and the next project we're actually working on is a fitness video. I wanted to do like a plus size because, you know, growing up, I saw a lot of skinny girl fitness videos. So I wanted to do a video with me and a few other plus size women that will inspire, you know, plus size women to work out, because it's not about being skinny. It's really about health, you know, getting that heart pumping. And I try to encourage women to exercise because the depression, it's the number one prescription for depression. You get those blood cells going and pumping, your heart pumping, you feel better. I know I do. So that's one of the main reasons I want to do the video, a fitness video for plus size women, where they see us in the video working out.
Yeah, one of my favorite, one of the fitness models that I follow, I can't remember how to pronounce her name. I think it's Arias, Arias. But she became real popular years ago because when she was 6 months pregnant, she still had a six pack, and she was like on the Dr. Oz show. It was like something crazy. That's not why I follow her. I follow her because she has a great nutrition and fit thing. But you know what she said is that she started fitness herself because she was dealing with a deep bout of depression. And that fitness was the key for her, like you said, for her, and for you or whoever that, you know, lifted her, or was one of the things that lifted her out of that depression. And now, you know, I'm really, she's like amazed, just like you, that number one, she has followers and she's viral, and she has, you know, she has a whole nutrition brand and a fitness program and all now, because it's like you said, it's like I love that message of believing in the impossible. It's really believing in yourself, and like moving forward no matter like what people on the outside are saying, if you have their support or not. You know, sometimes you just have to show and prove. I know when I started my business, Work for Change, nobody knew, not even like my sister, my close, you know, nobody knew. It was I was like working in the lab, taking these classes, and building up my knowledge base on how to start a business for a year. And no one knew until the business launch. Wow. And I remember when I sent the information out for the business launch, some of my family like, is this a joke? Like, what's going on? Because they literally had no idea. But the reason I didn't tell anybody is not that I didn't think my family would be supportive, because I have a supportive family too, you know, but it's just like, I didn't want to deal with any questions. I didn't even want to open the door for people to be like, why are you doing this? Or, you know, I just knew that in the space that I was in, there was no space for naysayers or any doubt, because it was already a risk for me. And so I was like, I'm gonna just keep this in the wraps. And then when I'm ready, and then, you know, and it's basically all she wrote from there. But I do understand it's like protecting your space, and even even in the business, like people still question, well, why are you doing it this way? I liked it when you did this instead, and those things. And you just like, okay, Now let me ask you this. You know, again, what advice would you have for anyone who is, you know, they're looking at their vision board, they're writing down that list, but for some reason they're not moving, right? You know, they won't take that next step or that leap. What advice would you give that person who's like just staring at that vision board?
Find something to do towards your goal, regardless how small it is. Applying for your sole proprietor tax ID number, finding out what it takes to run that business, doing some research. What's the competition in your area? Not really competition, because I don't believe in competition. But
the market. What's the market?
Who else is doing what you do? What are they doing? How can I stand out? And every day do something toward, this is what I did. Every day I did something towards my goal. Getting in network with different insurance companies. I had to look at I was in Charlotte when I started my business, and I had to look at what will make me stand out. So that's why I named it Complete Speech Therapy and Wellness, because when these families come into my office, a lot of the mothers are stressed out, overweight. Some of the kids are stressed out, overweight. So we offer, nutrition counseling and life coaching, weight loss coaching, because, just to help that child with the speech is one thing, but to help them to live is a whole nother thing. So I took time to see how could I stand out in my business, wrote that stuff down, and just do something, even I don't care how small it is, because as much as you do, you're going to get to the point where you're doing it.
Yeah.
Before you know it. Before you know.
That's such good advice. And you know what? That model really, that you do your business. So like it just makes complete sense. Like you said, what is it called? Complete speech therapy and wellness. It just makes sense for you because, your approach is not just, like even with fitness, it's not just fitness. You also do nutrition. You also do, what are the things, you do crystals, right? You also,
oh my God, I do so much. I sell
you do so much,
oil.
Looking for the sea moss. She always be like, I got some sea moss. It's like so many things. And you also have do you still have your gift shop, your Facebook gift shop?
It's still there. That's where I sell the crystals and the black seed oil and the sea moss.
Yes. So we didn't even talk about that. But see, again, wholeness, wellness, complete, she don't do nothing half at all. It's the wholeness. And I really love your approach, like you said, with your business where, people come in with a particular issue, something, speech therapy, but no, it's really like what's going on in the family, what's going on with you psychologically, with your wellness and your safety. All of those things feed into or make a difference. And so I just want to commend you on the work that you're doing. Like, I'm so glad that you, found some time to talk with me today, and we can promote your business and talk about your journey and who you are and how you have, how your approach to life shows up in your business. And like you said, just doing little things every day towards your goal, taking a risk on yourself, believing in the impossible, all these great little nuggets, make up who you are as a person and business owner. So thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. And I hope it's not the last.
I know. Oh, this definitely will not be the last. So, I promised Lakeeta that I would not take up her entire day. So let me just close by saying again, 2022 is around the corner. I am offering again because people have asked for this. The Small Business Workshop is going to be a 2-part series on November 20th and then on December 4th. We talk about not just your business plan, because that's really important, but we start with who you are and what makes your business you. It's just like Lakeeta said before, like what will make you stand out? How can you of who you are in your business? We identify challenges, we identify support, the whole 9. So please check that out. Otherwise, check out Lakeeta Ladson's social media handles that are below. Please follow her. If you need any type of wellness services, she's there for you. And then with Work for Change, we're always here for you as a workplace equity consulting company. So please, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and of course you found us here on YouTube. So like, subscribe, and share so we can work to make the world of work better.